And with that, the stream begins.
Ah.
Ah! And with that,
Dare.
we have Adrian von Ziegler music. Everything's up and running. We're here!
How
Full of
dare
energy. Raring to go. We definitely know what we're doing.
Yeah,
Let's go.
as always.
As always, Ziegler's a bit loud. Oops. Stop with
We're
the bagpipes.
So professional.
Always professional.
Yeah, which is why we also knew exactly what we were doing yesterday.
Yep. That stream started as smoothly as ever.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think says a lot about the previous streams. Yay. Welcome back to Project Via. Because that's the cadence people speak, right?
Yeah. Project V.
Project V.
I mean, it's the cadence of which you just spoke, and I'm going to make the assumption that you're a person. If you're not, I have questions and I do not want them answered.
I'm here mainly for Turing test purposes. Yeah. There's a lot of
I
bugs
like
being
my
ironing
little
out.
fella. I have a problem. I don't usually like my doodles.
There's a good doodle. Fun little fella. We have that. We have fractal horns. We got a good old running geck.
We got something.
Oh, that's smaller than I thought. Oh, running cake is good.
I think they've just pinched something from someone.
Probably.
They pitched someone from Knife Cat.
And then we have these friends. I'm assuming friends. Who look very entertained by proceedings.
So entertained.
They're running.
Yeah. Welcome back. It's Project Via. It's the thing we do. Occasionally, by which I mean Sundays.
Yeah.
And have done for the past... It's the 4th week, so the past 3 weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Fence posts and gaps and all that. Yeah. We're back, and we're here to talk about quests, I assume.
Quiz.
Quiz. Yes, so if you don't know what this is, we're collaboratively making a action adventure fantasy game akin to Zelda or Dark Souls. It's Al, and we're doing so by everybody having a zone, and we're sharing zones around and designing things for zones with random prompts and such. And last week the random prompt was to make a quest.
Yeah.
And everybody got a different zone, and hopefully we had fun. If not, I'm cancelling the project.
No.
No
Don't
cancel.
do it.
We all had fun. We
But also by
promise.
the same token, if you didn't do the prompt, that's fine.
I thought about the prompt, but I hadn't written anything out.
That's what.
Yeah,
this game is
some
for.
people, i.e. Lewis, were busy dumping their brains onto pieces of paper. So
Metaphorically.
Being smart.
Being
Maybe
smart.
literally. That's what I felt like during my exams.
That's what you felt
Yes.
like. It's a simile.
Because I had Darkstone, I think, or a floating city is Darks.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I remember thinking something about because he mentioned flying like sky pirates.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the
I
thing.
like my quest idea was something along like quest for fuel. Someone stole the fuel.
That makes sense.
Then I forgot to ask if they were like fantasy sky pirates or science fiction sky pirates.
It's
Both? Either.
Yeah, but either both. This is spaghetti. We're still in the spaghetti era.
Okay, okay,
Well,
okay.
We're just
Because in
throwing
that
ideas
case-
around.
Throw anything.
And in some cases, literally spaghetti.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Hi, Giro. Giro is here.
Hey, Giro.
Yes.
In that case, I got an idea.
Idea.
Yay, good.
Well,
Tell us about
I
it.
have two things. One is probably inconsequential and sort of stupid. And the other one, I might have accidentally set the theme of the major story of the main quest line. Oops.
Yeah, I already
That's
have
fine.
a kind of idea, I think.
Nice.
Or you probably shared it in the thing, the chat.
Oh, you have an idea what it is, not you have an idea for the quest.
No.
Yeah.
I know kind of what.
Yeah, the big one I've already shared because this is definitely going to be one of those things of like either we use it and it's going to sort of flavor everything else, or we're going to have to look at it and go, yeah, no, let's not. And I don't know which.
I mean, I like it. I enjoy this kind of deal, so I'm into it.
Don't have any art this time, but you do have a little quest idea for the caves. I mean, with the prompt like quests, art is certainly not on top of the agenda, but
Yeah, art is hard. Can't all draw big titty shark mermaids for our quests. That would be weird.
Okay, so I haven't checked the chat a lot. Is that a thing?
that is the thing.
Yeah,
God damn
Georgie.
I
Do you want to start, Chibi?
sure.
No.
A few days back, because
Oh,
that was
there it
my,
is.
because I had Plamsus.
Oh no, I did see it. I just didn't register the titties, I think.
I mean, to be fair, seeing as it's a shark, it's probably less like mammary glands and more like here's a convenient spot to put a fat deposit to keep warm in the ocean.
Somewhere to store neat looking shells.
Maybe they're poison glands.
Ooh,
Who knows? But yeah, because
that's something for the fans to debate over.
Abyss, the bisexual ocean, Plamsus zone.
Yeah.
And my first instinct for it was star-crossed lovers for some reason.
Or
For
like,
some reason.
For some reason.
We may never know the reason.
Who knows? Might have something to do with big women. Who knows? But yeah, I made a little diver friend whose name is Vinny now. And you
Drawing
kind of
very big.
like meet them like in the world a few times, and they're always in trouble. And you help them because they really want to get to their girlfriend, and their girlfriend lives in the abyss, and apparently is a shark, which you don't realize until the end of the quest.
okay, I have questions about Vinny. More
Well-
relating to his eyesight.
Don't worry about it.
they permanently wear like a big helmet. It's
Yeah.
difficult to see out of it.
We don't know what's in there.
We
Are
actually
they
share art.
human? Who knows?
Oh,
Show art on the
maybe it's
stream.
a fish.
A fish in a diver suit going in.
Yes,
No,
the
see-
diver suit is just filled with water.
Vinny is
They're a
very
reverse
stupid.
mermaid,
Oh my
but they're a freshwater mermaid, which is why they need to wear the suit with all the fresh water in it, and they still need to wear it even when they're in the ocean because the ocean is seawater.
Almost makes too much sense.
Yeah, my thought was a goes on land and needs to be in water. Like a reverse Sandy from SpongeBob.
Either one, I'm okay with.
Look at that good art. That good seaweed.
I used a studio clip brush for the seaweed.
It's a very good brush.
Wasn't
The-
gonna bother with it. Yeah.
Old time diver suit.
Using the proper tools for the proper job. They. Also, we have this, which is Oobs' Abyss character,
Yeah.
who looks terrifying.
I love that Oobs' nightmare creature and big titty shark girlfriend live in the same ocean.
Yeah.
Maybe they're friends.
Maybe they're friends.
Maybe.
I mean, have you seen what exists in actual oceans?
That's true, but also it's still very funny.
Hey, miss.
Yeah, I kind
Jurgen.
of wanted to make it more deformed because of pressure, but I don't know. Kind of went from the horns are just fucked up.
I mean, yeah, it
If-
could be the case, like, if this was on land, it would be a blobfish scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
This is what
melt
it looks
the
like under
force.
pressure. Yeah. It's twice as big on the surface.
Just lots of melted horse when it's on the surface.
And this was Ragdoll's concept art of where the Wizard of the High Door lives.
I found that picture in a collection of like weird things you find in the city, and it's like, yeah, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, when it's like, oh, here's just a door, and it's like, how are you expected to get to this door? Well, you're not, because we're missing bits. That's actually one of the more sensible ones I've seen, because at least there's still a ladder there.
Yeah, there is a ladder.
And at least there is like a little spot there that you can stand on in front of the door. I've seen ones where just like the whole thing is gone and it's literally just a door in a wall.
Yeah.
I like
Nothing
how
in
you
front
have
of it, nothing around it, just a door.
You have a ladder, yes, but the ladder is not attached to the platform you need to get off on.
No.
You have to bridge that gap yourself. Which I don't know about you, I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm not good with ladders.
Some Prince of Persia and or Assassin's Creed nonsense going on here.
Yeah, I don't know why Prince of Persia was my first thought. I was like, that game just has ridiculous parkour.
I was trying to. I immediately went looking for inconvenient door places, and this one made me giggle.
Ooh. It's just, I like how it was just like, notes to the builder, this door's too high, and then they come and fix it. It's like, no, too low.
Put it there.
There's a Goldilocks scenario here.
The builders were
kind
like,
of
don't tell me
though.
what to do. Maybe there still has to be like a staircase scenario. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean,
work
the
in
sensible
progress.
thing would be, oh, there used to be a staircase there. But right now there's clearly no staircase there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, don't pressure them. Maybe they still have to do it.
They finished the wall. It looks very clean. And I like.
put door here.
God, I'm just improvising ship mechanics. I don't know anything about ships. Except for
mean-
the very limited thing I've seen in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
More than me.
I mean, it's a fantasy ship. It can do whatever.
Yeah, but I'd like to make it a little bit of sense.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a ship already, so that's impressive.
I mean, that's more than like Dark Souls does. There's a ship in Dark Souls 2 where the steering wheel is like in the ship. You can't see. Like, you're just in this
That's great.
closed off wooden room. I was like, navigate from there. Okay. So yeah, hey, the making sense is overrated. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Any other quests? Quests to be chit chat. Oh, you have the Sky Pirate quest. Fuel.
It's about the Sky Pirates.
Ski pirate. I misunderstood. I thought it said ski pirates. They're just pirates on skis.
Ski pirate. What? I mean, sure.
I mean,
No one said that can't happen.
yeah.
I mean, we do have a mountain area where the Gilded City is, and that's one way to get away quickly. Just ski down the mountain.
Gilded City. That sounds good.
So many names for that city.
I know. The city of
Something about
1,000
that
names. Gilded, I feel like makes more like sense. It kind of feels metaphorical for like the armor and such.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to change the?
I mean,
name
it
of the
depends
gallery?
on whether Lewis likes it.
True.
It's his city.
I mean, it probably has like an actual name, but with a lot of these places, it's like, okay, we're going to this harbor. The city it's in
Yeah.
probably has a name. We don't know it yet. Right now, it's just the harbor.
Copenhagen.
Although, all things considered, seeing as our player character is fairly disconnected from whatever's going on, they might not know the name of the place either.
Maybe it's
Like,
another
it's
one
the
of those
boat
instances. As soon as somebody says the name, and another noise happens, and you just
Just a horn blaring.
yeah. Every time
Welcome
a piece
to
of critical. Every zone has its own noise interruption.
You
The
just
viaduct
don't know
is like-
any of the names ever.
And the viaduct is like just a vehicle drives past. In the harbour, it's a horn. In the forest, just a squirrel runs up and honks.
No, just an air horn. A squirrel with an air horn.
Yeah. So it looks exactly the same as a squirrel, but it just opens its mouth and an air horn. And then skittles off.
They were reusing assets.
Oh, it's like the best opening to any game I've ever seen. Deadly Premonition, which has the character opening cutscene involved in a car crash, which is not incidental to the story. So it's not a spoiler or anything; it just happens. But the reason he crashes the car is because there's a couple of squirrels in the road and when the camera shows the squirrels, there are monkey sounds. And it's just like chimpanzee squeals. Because I guess the sound designer didn't know what a squirrel sounded like.
Apparently not.
That game's sound design is just, it's art. Because it doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, at least with the using tigers to voice roaring lions, it's because in real life lions do not sound impressive.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, we'll get another animal to make the sound. But yeah, that's pretty funny because it's like,
Yeah, it is just,
Or-
it's just straight up chimpanzee squeals. It's wonderful. Yes, what's going on with these ski pirates?
I haven't decided if because the purple blob on top is supposed to be like a balloon, which is an idea I totally
Ooh.
stole from a Belgian comic about Vikings.
I mean, it's an idea you stole from the concept of dirigibles. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not-
But it's just the flying ships with the balloons is like seared in my brain because I read those comics 10,000 times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I thought they looked cool. So they are either filled with helium, which I think is a bit excessive. So I think I'm gonna go with magic.
Magic.
Man.
helium is excessive. Let's go with magic instead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
well,
this world, that
helium
makes sense.
is a how do you? it's a finite source. Is that the right word?
Finite?
There's finite. There's not an unlimited amount, and magic is unlimited.
Yeah.
So my thought is that someone stole the magic.
Someone stole fizzy lifting drinks. No.
Either someone stole like the magic or took the magic away from the balloons so the ships don't fly anymore. And you have to help the pirates find their source of flying back.
Probably a wizard.
Probably.
Probably a wizard.
I do
Being a
believe
nuisance
I
as
do, I
always.
do.
They get everywhere, they do. Is there like... So like, I don't want to use the word exterminator, but is there like somebody whose job it is to like be called in to get rid of wizards who have like... who are just sort of infesting a place?
The wizard exterminator.
I don't kill them, it's humane, but...
It's human. I don't know.
Like witch hunters or something. Honestly,
Yeah, but they...
probably.
I mean, I'm not even sure if they'd be taken as seriously as you would with like a witch hunter type situation, because for the most part, it seems like everyone just it's like, oh, it's just nonsense. Nobody knows what the heck they're talking about. Just a bunch of feral weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the
Seems like
feral
the-
weirdo remover.
The wizards in this universe take more the role of like a gremlin or like a pixie, like wreaking havoc and being annoying.
Wizards of this world's gremlins. I like that. I'm on board for that.
They just like run in packs. They live
Fourth
in a
wall
cave.
breaking gremlins.
They scuttle in packs.
Teaching you how to
Shuffle.
use the menu so that you can adjust your stats when you level up.
Speaking of wizards, I got wizards for my
Yes.
thing, and I have to call in the exterminator to get rid of them. No, the we floated this idea on the previous stream, of I can't remember how it came vaguely about because we were talking about that we are still in the spaghetti phase of this, where we're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, and I can't remember precisely what the middle of the conversation was, but the end of the conversation was the wand of 1,000 spaghettis. And so that's essentially the quest that I have, which is that basically every wizard you come across is looking for a piece of spaghetti that they've either lost or not been able to find, or accidentally cooked and need to uncook.
They have like a spaghetti shrine.
Well, the idea. Hang on.
I like the idea of, oh, we cooked it and we need to uncook it, because unless you're making it yourself fresh, most spaghetti that you get from the store has been cooked and then dehydrated essentially, and when you're cooking it at home, you're mostly just rehydrating it. So it's like, well, if you want to uncook the spaghetti, just lay it out and wait.
Ah, big. That's big. Hang on. So there is the wand of 1,000 spaghettis. It's made of 27 pieces of spaghetti, which is how many you need to find. And each of them has their own little quest that you need to find them. For example, one of them is like, I'm looking for the spaghetti plant. It's rare. It's around here somewhere. It turns out it's on the other side of the map, and it's very small. And then there's the one in the harbor. Is like I like the idea of quests that like, by fulfilling them, they show you a bit of the world that is useful to know. So, for example, like somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, I need you to get me a dagger. Take this iron to the blacksmith," and then you go to the blacksmith, and you now know where the blacksmith is and how to make weapons and things. So the one in the harbour, the Wizard of the High Door, has misplaced their spaghetti or whatever. Like they've accidentally sold it at a pawn shop with a bunch of other crap. So you have to go to the pawn shop to work it out, and the pawn shop's like, oh no, I sold that on to the people in the kitchens. And then you have to go to the kitchens and see what they did with it, and there's, oh no, so somebody else needed it, they're in that building. And basically, piece by piece, you have to go to every single building that you can go in the harbour. And you end up basically back at the wizard's house, because it's back there. And so yeah, the idea of the quest is just to go into every single building, looking for spaghetti that's not there.
Yeah.
I feel like that was wizardy.
Yeah.
But the idea of the wand is that the wizard tower has a head, I guess. There's somebody in charge of the wizard tower, and I say in charge loosely because trying to take charge of wizards is like, worse than herding cats, But they need a nominal leader, and their nominal leader is retiring, and they were like, oh, we need to make them something. It's tradition to make them a special artifact, and they've run out of ideas, so they're making the wand of 1,000 spaghettis. And that's what you're helping with. And you, at the end, you give them the wand of 1,000 spaghettis, and there's a little ceremony where they stop being the head, and then afterwards, they've retired, so they don't need a wand anymore, and they give it to you. And that's how you get the wand of 1,000 spaghettis. And when you use it, it looks like this.
Ooh.
It summons cosmic meatballs.
Of course.
I like it.
Oh, wonderful.
That's my quest.
Getty brush is looking really good.
Swag.
Was worth it making a brush for Chris.
I made a brush explicitly to draw spaghetti.
And
You're gonna make pasta, yes. This will make pasta. I have been a good influence. Yeah, this has no effect on your magic ability or stats or anything like that. It just adds spaghetti and cosmic meatballs. It's just a particle effect thing. So yeah, there you go. I am now drawing the retiring wizard.
Looks more like he's deflating.
Maybe
That happens.
that's what happens to Wyzrm when they retire.
Yeah, that's why they're retiring. They're slowly deflating. They have deflatitis. It's like the opposite of whatever it was in Theme Hospital, where people had inflated heads. Did anyone play that game?
I don't think so.
It's a game where you run like a hospital, and there are weird diseases and things, and one of the first ones is everyone has an inflated head.
Wish I'd played it. Also,
That's a good
I'm
time.
not going ooh and ah over like the art and stuff if it's just on stream because I can't see it, but I'm sure I love it.
Oh, I was sticking it in the. I'll stick it in Discord.
Thank you.
Kira shared her chef idea.
Ooh, yeah.
Cooking
Hang on.
quest.
Hang on, I'm just about to push that out of the way with spaghetti. Right, so we have... Quest idea for the caves was helping out a chef, maybe an amateur chef who wants to try to make some unique cuisine. Unique. And needs help finding or acquiring various ingredients from the caves. All kinds of ingredients, no matter how dubious, and each meal makes you ill at first. Which is great. But eventually you and the chef find a good balance and actually make something that's palatable, maybe even good. That, or maybe it's because you've poisoned yourself enough times while taste testing that you've developed a bit of an iron stomach or a tolerance to poisons. Or maybe it's a mix of both. Yeah. So we need cave chef.
Yes.
Are you getting the ingredients from the cave? Because that might be why you're getting ill.
Probably.
Did you wash the ingredients? point getting them from the cave.
And did you wash it in anything other than the river in the cave?
Yeah, that might not be a good idea. You don't know what lives in the cave river.
I mean, we know there's a post office, so could combine those together, and it's like, oh, now we have an Uber Eats inside the cave.
You have a Starbucks. Oh, the zoom in on Aggie is really not it.
No, the best I've got is like stalagbucks. It doesn't work. Starbrox.
Yeah, you'll find it. Keep working.
I don't think I will.
You're doing great.
Is that what we're calling it now?
What, doing great?
Yeah.
Gotta be supportive, Chib.
I'm always here to shut Chris down.
The problem with being supportive is that I don't stop. So sometimes you just gotta cut your losses.
I think the worst thing I said was during a raft stream where I just straight up said that I wasn't amused.
Yeah, I clipped that. That was if you type in !clip, you might find it. It's in the rotor. But yeah, it's oh yeah, we were talking about something, and I said I think Chib's too young to know what we're talking about, and you said, no, I understand what you're saying. I'm just not entertained. And that made me laugh quite a lot.
It made you entertained.
Yeah.
So, I have 2 quests. Well, sort of overall ideas for quests. One is obviously important. The other one, not really. In fact, you could probably skip it. Well, we've established there's a post office, or at least there's a post office there's a postal service that with a branch in the caves. And I'm thinking any sort of hub is probably at the harbor. So I'm thinking maybe we've got a side quest where it's just kind of like, hey, we need someone to help sort and or deliver mail. Because you do that in some games. I know in Wind Waker there's a mini game where you can help them sort the mail, and I think you have to do it like once for an item of some sort, but then you can just keep doing it for funsies. And I think you can also get like an upgrade or something later on, but it's not like an important item. So like you can skip this, but you could also just play courier service for a while.
Isn't there something like that in? Oh, that's the mask shop, isn't it? In Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, sort of a similar thing. It's like we're delivering these stuff to people. You don't need to do it, but you know.
I like how in that one there's some of the people are like, oh, thank you very much for getting me the thing. Here's a thing to make it worth your while. And others are like, cheers. Here's half the money that you paid to get it to me. So part of the quest just punishes you because that's life. I feel like I need to get a bit more inventive with my wizard designs. They're all just bearded lumps in hats.
I mean, that's just what wizards are, right?
Bearded lumps.
This just supports my gremlin theory. They all look the same.
I mean, you could always have something else obscuring their face. Just have the largest scarf.
I already did that on the first wizard I drew. Scarves are usually my go-to for obscuring faces. Hair and scarves. which is where M comes from. She's both. Yeah, look at this. We've got a nice sort of pointy tricorn hat thing going on up here. These are the sky pirates.
Yeah.
And the post office. And a horse. Horses are now canonical in this game.
Oh no. You have to draw horses now.
Yep.
At no point did I say I had to draw a horse.
I did.
I just drew it, so it's obvious that it's like we've got like a carriage situation going on, pulling the mail around. I guess we could have just a giant lizard pulling it around instead.
I mean, that's for the caves.
Yeah.
Don't know how that works when
every region has their own
inhabitants are also, you know, amphibians. But
yeah, we're going to end up with a kind of
weird implication.
Goofy Pluto sort of situation.
Yeah. I mean, or maybe they're just employed to do that.
Maybe
they're just big and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll pull this card.
There are, well, I mean, yeah, you could probably have that. Just like, hey, like, who's pulling the card? Oh, Steve's pulling the cart today. Okay. I mean, carts did used to be just like hand carts, and then as they got bigger, it's like we need, as we figure out how to get other things to pull it.
Aren't rickshaws pulled by people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that weird.
You're suggesting a lizard rickshaw?
Yeah.
Good.
But also, every region can have their own pull, animal, pull. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? The thing that pulls the cart.
I don't know.
Well,
horse.
Every region has their own horse.
Everybody, this week's prompt: design your region's horse.
And for some regions, the horse is a lizard.
And sentient, who knows?
But hasn't there been like a comb drawing and a cane drawing over here?
What?
Hasn't there been sorry, what?
There hasn't been anything drawn over here?
No.
Oh my goodness. It stopped working. I've been drawing things and then I refreshed because it stopped working, and apparently I've been drawing in nothingness.
Oh no.
No.
Sorry, I just had to know if...
Yeah, no, all I can see that you've drawn is your horned cat.
I'm gonna start over.
If you get a refresh, well, no, you're on an iPad. I was going to say hit print screen.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, that's fine. Aggie's been playing up today. I had to refresh a couple of times just to connect. So.
I have to remember to keep refreshing then.
Been having issues. I'll have to make my own art sharing program.
No.
With brush textures.
Yeah. No, he's right.
I miss my pencil. Gosh darn it.
You use what you got.
I am slowly developing a way of dealing with it, so...
Nope. I mean, yours look good.
No, you.
No.
Yes.
Stop. Why can't I select? Why can't I lasso? Let me lasso the thing. Thank you. Jesus.
Oh, look at this snarky friend. And this nice relaxed friend with a hat.
don't know what I'm doing with these lizards anymore.
Spaghetti.
I'm mainly sitting here thinking, how's the hat gonna fit on the lizard's head?
Don't worry about it.
That's what the string's for.
Yeah.
To stop it falling off. See, this is the sort of thing I like doing, particularly with like Avonvale or something, is if you have a character who's not human shaped, how do you make clothes for them? How would they design a hat specifically for a lizard head? What would be different about it? I guess, in my head that's novel, but there's also, the entire furry community who have thought about this before.
There's a lot of good inspiration there.
I mean, to be fair, like the furry community is lots of just make it human.
Yeah.
Less of like, how would a certain animal wear this, and more like, let's turn this human into a wolf.
Yeah. Let's fit the clothes to the animal, and more, let's just change the animal to look like human.
Yeah.
I guess that's what makes it a furry as opposed to an anthropomorphic animal. No, I guess it's the anthropomorphic bit is what does it. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Rewatch Disney's Robin Hood and study the clothes.
I mean,
they did have a snake, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the characters in Disney's Robin Hood, though, also just don't wear pants. So the answer to how do you put the clothes on the animal is sometimes just don't.
Just don't.
But you can't find an answer to how the snake wears a hat, because I'm pretty sure the snake wears a hat.
The snake wears a hat and a cape, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need to. He is protected from the elements by his skills.
Yes.
Why would a lizard need clothes? Is my question.
Fashion? Pockets? I mean,
Pockets,
I know
that's a
otters
good
come
point,
with pockets, but I don't know too many lizards that come with pockets.
Pockets, definitely, yeah.
Well, that's the answer to the no pants question. You can have like a jacket with pockets and no pants.
That's true. I mean, it's like, I imagine it for all the salamanders and stuff, it's less like, you want to wear clothes? Go for it. You don't want to wear clothes? Sure.
We got more important things to worry about.
A salamander or frog or some other type of amphibic creature, like, who's gonna stop you? Probably the ones that live in the harbor are more likely to wear clothes, because they live amongst humans and what all.
Yeah, I'm assuming the harbor is sort of like the intersection point of all of these sort of societies that live around this area, as well as having its own thing.
Yeah, harbors are usually sort of a hub of some sort or another, so I'm sure there's NPCs of all sorts of backgrounds just around.
Is the amphibian mafia has been wearing clothes. I've drawn them with clothes. So they wear clothes at least.
That's part of the
uniform.
That's part of the intimidation tactic.
Exactly. And then in the caves, I think it's just whatever you feel like.
They're like their version of taking off your shoes when you get home. It's just take off all the clothes.
I mean, you go
There's not a lot of weather to contend with.
I now love to imagine that, like, you're traveling with like a caravan of people, and then you get to the caves, and all the the lizard people and salamander people just start taking off their clothes, and I'm like, yes, I'm home.
Finally.
It's something to think about.
If you think about it, though, that actually could be another reason why they wear clothes. Because if the harbor is known for being sort of like dirty. I mean, another reason to wear clothes is just so that not so much, oh, I don't want my skin exposed, and more of like, I don't want this on me. It's easier to clean off if it's not on my skin, if I can just remove the thing it's on and shove it in the dishwasher. Or not dishwasher, what did I say dishwasher? The washing machine?
You put it in the
I guess you
dishwasher,
could
no
put
one's
it in the
stopping you.
dishwasher. Don't know how well that'd work though.
But yeah, we you know, have you heard of a character called Soot? That might be a good reason to want to wear clothes.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably also like a climate difference between like caves and just the city in general. Like, I don't know how like salamanders and stuff in caves work. But I imagine,
Fantasy.
like, if you remove them from that cave and then just plop them into the city, they wouldn't fare too well.
So, an interesting thing about caves, and this is true for deep bodies of water as well, they don't change temperature a lot. So you can actually use cave temperatures and like in the bottom of lake temperatures to figure out what the average temperature is of a region across the year, because it's the same temperature down there in the middle of the summer as it is in the dead of winter, because it doesn't change enough even when it's like, oh, the sun is out all the time or the sun is not out all the time. It doesn't change any. Which is why going into the caves in the summer, it's like, oh, this is cool. But going into the caves in the winter, it's insulated, so it's not as cold as it is outside. Because the temperature hasn't changed from what it was in the summer.
It stays more the same, which makes it feel more different. Insulation.
That then also is like a reason to wear clothes. Like, if you're used to like the same temperature all the time, you're gonna want, to keep yourself warm or cold if you like go outside.
Yeah. So what do
That's
they do in
what
the summer?
clothes also are useful for.
Is there like a kind of a thriving business for ice packs during the summer of like people sew them into their clothes or
You walk into the harbor during the summer and you just see a bunch of like salamanders lying on blocks of ice.
what's this funky thing up here? Looks like a staff.
Is it like a magic staff?
Yeah. It's a Viking-inspired forest crest staff.
I have a question. Pirate, crop top, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yeah, thank you.
I was gonna say Jippy's answer to that is immediate.
I was thinking about Crow's pirate. What was his name?
Cutterlass.
Cutterlass.
Oh yeah.
This is my tribute to Crow.
I can't think what to draw now. Turns out today I had one idea.
I mean, same. Now I'm just doodling.
I don't know what I'm doing either.
You've drawn a blob.
Yeah. And I don't know what to do with it. But it's here now.
That's a blub.
Oh yeah, I was gonna have a crack at doing a. I'm not gonna do it now, but a crack at doing a render of the tower, wizard tower. So I like the idea of this just horrendously irregular shaped building. But not right now. I do not have the tools, nor the patience.
I feel like something like that would be something where the concept artist would go yes, and the 3D modelers would go fuck.
You could do like a kind of procedural 3D model, where you had like a particle system that just has like bits of building just randomly generated as you go up.
Sounds like a speedrun strat hack. If you can jump the sequence that it renders.
Oh yeah. Now it's smooth. I skipped the renderings. The building is now too smooth. Different sort of wizard. We do not yet have a lizard wizard. We should probably fix that.
Oh, do we need a wizard for every region?
I feel the wizards are everywhere. They're an infestation, so it makes sense that there's a variety.
So, the sort of Doysian intent of the wizards, I guess, the out of game intent for the wizards is to have them as sort of your tutorials and shops that are dealing with just things that are more explicitly game mechanic nonsense, which is part of the reason why all the NPCs are like, I have no idea what this guy is talking about. What's the X button? What is R2? L1? What? So it makes sense for there to be at least one in each region to work as sort of a lore dump that may or may not be helpful, and or a I need to upgrade my abilities. Time to talk to the wizard. Sort of like in Dark Souls, where you've got some NPCs that you talk to that are there for helping you do game mechanic things.
The wizard for the abyss would, for the in between would just be a goat, to be honest.
Goat
Just
wizard.
goat.
Yeah. And I mean, depending on how much sense we want to give to the wizards, which I vote for none, we could also probably just have one of the wizards not being in the abyss so much of just set up a little house wherever the blood pool is. And it's just kind of like nothing else lives here, but there's just like a door in a rock to a wizard lair next to a blood pool. Why? I don't know. It's a wizard.
Glad you think Lord Brent is cute, Kira.
It's very cute. Cute blob.
I like that his little armies are just straight out to the sides. And I don't know if it's because he can't put his arms down or because he got caught doing something and is just kind of like,
He's squaring off. He wants to fight.
I imagine it's just like if you put him on all fours, he can just do like very quick like tippy tappies and just scuttle away. But I mean, like if he has to like walk like a person would, he's just kind of like just he can't do it.
It's like the what are the lizards that live in the desert? They have to like alternate their front paws and their back paws because the sand is too hot.
Oh yeah.
So they do like a
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
The little tappy guys who are on like only 2 feet at a time while they're standing around. Because, yeah, sand's too hot. They do a little dance.
I'm imagining this friend, but just going from one paw to the other paw. He's like, whoop, whoop.
You just
But
do,
also,
like...
so I don't know if you've ever seen them in motion, but like wild boars look sort of silly. They're just sort of like short little legs and just really fat because they're pigs. But they run sort of like deer. So it's really interesting to see them run, and also terrifying if they're running towards you because they do not stop. And they can move very fast. So yeah, little chub salamander just running around, scrambling on all fours, causing mischief.
I feel like you need to have a little character that's just constantly running around in a game. You gotta have the little Goron kid or the.
I love to imagine that this little guy is just like running in circles with his like quick little tippy taps on all fours, and then you stop him and he just stands up like this. Just, what do you want? I was running.
Yeah.
I'm once again reminded that I can't draw round shapes.
I can't draw anything but round shapes, so it's fine.
Yeah, we'll just have Chris draw the round part, and you draw the angle parts.
Specifically, some nice acute angles. Nice sharp connection of two concave edges. If I may analyze the bits of your art that I like.
There's just a lot of concave angle.
That's good.
Oh, is this like a frilled lizard?
Yes. And hence the frills. I wanted to try and do something with the notion of the hat, of like the wide brim, so I decided to give them just the cone bit, and the frill is the brim of the hat, even though it's under the head. It's a weird system. But
I mean, I'd be more concerned if we had wizards that did look alike and didn't just seem to have weird system going on here.
This one might be the one that teaches you about like costume and clothing and how to configure things so that you can get the benefits of armor without changing the appearance and all that sort of stuff.
Oh god, it's like in MMOs where it's like, well, here's the gear you're wearing that's inferring your stats, but also here's the gear you're wearing as fashion.
Yes. Pasta became rice, but you chopped it too finely.
I mean, I know of some pasta rice mixtures where it's like it's part pasta, part rice, so it cooks faster.
Who's looked at pasta and thought that needs to be faster?
Well, it's less the pasta and more, would you like something that's rice adjacent but faster?
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
So it has rice in it, but then also small bits of pasta that are sort of similar size to the rice. And you cook it and go.
Me figuring out how to get a wizard hat on a coat.
A wizard hat on a coat? What?
On a goat.
Oh, a goat. Oh, right. I was going to say, I wouldn't put a hat on a coat. What? Yeah, rice. I haven't had rice for ages. I need rice. I need rice.
You need it?
You need bread.
Oh, got plenty of that.
Wait, why is my brush all fucked up?
Yes, Oobs' name in the Discord is Secret Murderer.
It has been that for a while.
Yeah.
Thought about changing it to the planet Moon, but I don't think a lot of people will get the joke.
I mean, I don't get the joke, but I like it.
Oh, I have to send you a video.
Video.
It's my favorite video on the internet.
Do I like this? I don't like that. I want this to just be. Boom.
Maybe I'm not sure why, but the way the face is oriented with the running one is mildly upsetting.
I don't know how it work when he's like. I think it's
It would kind of be looking down, wouldn't it? Sort of.
I think it's more just like this. That's what it looks like. It's smooth like an egg.
Smooth like egg. Aerodynamic.
And he stands up and his whole head just compresses into his body.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the most sense.
And is that what we're here for? No.
I'm not gonna redefine it
How did the
again.
canvas turn? Jesus, I didn't do anything.
What?
You probably accidentally pressed R.
I
Yeah, that
don't
happens.
think so. I was just drawing.
The Artigo.
Happens to me too.
Oh wait, I think I know what happened.
Occasionally, this is what I quite like about these streams, is occasionally I get to take a tour of the drawings that have happened without me looking.
And then you get to sit there and go, oh my. Don't want to get hit in the head with this thing. Well, so I did put it in the Discord, but we haven't explicitly mentioned it on here for those at home who aren't looking in the Discord. The second quest that I have, which I haven't figured out any details for, mainly because this is the kind of quest where it's like this is either going to be something that we need to throw out or something that is going to sort of color everything else. Quest for the Void. Which is looks like is the possible overarching game quest.
Yeah, it seems to be that way.
So, with a lot of RPGs, the question is sort of like, what are you? Where did your NPC come from? Or
Where
not
did
your
you go?
NPC, your player character come from?
They come from Kaijo.
And I mean, since you, the player, are sort of just entering in this world, technically, sometimes your character has a, but heck, if you necessarily know what that is, especially if it's a make your own character type thing. So I'm thinking with this one, part of the reason we don't really have a set background and don't really have a place in the society is because we were literally born 2 days ago for some value of birth. We, the player character, are some sort of entity created or revived or imbued with powers of life and death, which is how we keep surviving situations or coming back from situations. Because something is happening that is very not right, that is messing with the cycle of life and death in a very metaphysical stance. It's not just quote-unquote messing with life and death by inventing penicillin. It's something a little deeper than that.
How dare you interfere with nature? Inventing
and life and death are not thrilled, but also life and death are lawful neutral and will not leave their house. So they send someone else to hopefully go deal with that. But someone else does not remember anything, does not know what the heck is going on, and is just wandering around blind, stumbling across plot points as they go. Now, I don't know what this existential threat could be. I don't know if there's something like sapping power from the void, so like essentially stealing from life and death. Or something beyond that. I don't know if this is a type of situation where, like with your Dark Souls, there's multiple endings, where you could choose to side with life and death and end this, or you could choose to side with whoever or whatever you were sent to stop and instead turn against life and death, messing things up even more. Could be interesting. But that's definitely something that's going to need to be sat on, because I have no idea what sort of existential threat we might be dealing with.
I mean, I'd say the wizards, but they're more
Gremlins.
yeah.
They're a pest. They're not a threat.
Yeah. Maybe.
The only thing
mean,
they are a threat to is everyone's sanity.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if there was a specific wizard or a specific magic user or someone specifically who had learned things from the wizards, but yeah, as a whole, the wizards might be a threat, but mostly in the same sense that a bull in a china shop is a threat. It doesn't belong there. It doesn't know what's going on. You don't want it there. They don't want to be there. I mean, they might want to be there, but they're not supposed to be there.
They've recently come to this island because there was weird stuff going on, and they're like, "Oh, weird stuff."
Yeah, it could
probably
be that
just
it's
amplifying
not so
the
much the
problem.
wizards that are causing the problem, and more problems happened, and that attracts wizards.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened, yeah.
They're here because
Ooh.
this island is now going to be the plot of an RPG game.
Yeah.
It attracts
They're
wizards.
summoned by the fourth wall appearing.
Is that the name of their like deity, the fourth wall?
All hail the fourth wall.
We were the first 3 walls.
We don't talk about the three walls.
No, that's the religion of everybody else.
The 4 walls. Oh, there's 3 walls.
Or is it that there is the sort of the 4 walls is the religion of everyone, but the wizards only worship 3 of them. So they're sort of considered heretical for not believing in the 4th wall.
One of those.
Hella, is this an octopus? No, it's a lizard. I was going with like a frilled lizard sort of thing.
A frilled
I haven't
lizard
got-
wearing frills.
Frills, many frills. They teach about clothes.
Puns.
That's basically the best you're gonna get out of me.
I love this, like, frilled wizard in all the fucking sense. So many clothes, so many frills, just standing next to this lumpy blob.
That's you might have noticed when I started drawing this, I actively flipped it to face the other way just so they could be facing each other.
Well, you don't want to be rude.
With the whole idea of like a lot of the lizard people in the caves just don't wear clothes when they're at their own house, I kind of imagine that this lizard wizard is for either a different area or is set up outside of the cave, not inside of the cave, because while most of the lizards are like, yeah, clothes, whatever, it's convenient, this one's like, I will wear all of the lace.
all frills, all lace, all the textures, all everything.
This thing takes like a good 10 minutes to fully load in.
Oh, so happy
They
to
are a
catch it.
fashionista.
This is the most rendered character in the whole game. This is the details.
You walk into their house and it takes like a solid 10 minutes to load the area, whereas any other area doesn't take that long, no matter how big it is. They don't even have that much in their house, it's just them.
You can do what I
This is an empty
did
room.
when
They
I
couldn't fit anything else in there, otherwise it would crash.
yeah. There's a wardrobe, and that's it. They live in a walk-in wardrobe, or a walking wardrobe. That works too.
Walking walk-in wardrobe.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have a walking wardrobe.
It's
Yeah,
like
They're a
mimic.
traveling fashionista.
Like a
Yeah.
wardrobe mimic. The class is thrilling. Oh yeah, sorry. I've just seen the. Is the moon a planet or a star? I have seen that. Forgot about it.
Planet Moon. I just love that video so much. It's an instant mood stabilizer for me.
Reminds me of a thing of one of Bill Bailey's shows. He was talking about a celebrity called Chantel, who said in an interview, I thought the moon and the sun were the same thing, just at different times of day. And it's like, you know, the moon's out during the day quite a lot, right?
Yeah. I don't get that one. The moon is quite visible during the day.
I recommend that routine just because of the sheer number of ways he manages to just call somebody an idiot that I've never heard before. He's very, like, verbose in his... He was talking about the effect of celebrity and the sort of the world of celebrity on people. And he describes it as that we are getting secondhand stupid off of them. They are incretinating us. I like the word incretinating.
What does that even mean?
It's just a made-up word for making the stupid, you know? I like people playing with words. It's fun.
I mean, in that video, they try to make the argument that the guy says, well, the moon has to be a planet because things live on it. I'm like, no, they don't.
Excuse me, are you a clanger denier?
Things don't live on the moon, sir. There's also, in essence, it's a very harmless, like,
Well, that's the
stance on life. Like, I'm not gonna make an issue. That's why I find it so funny. It's so harmless in essence.
it's the Sherlock Holmes thing, isn't it? It's Watson saying to Sherlock Holmes, "How do you not know that the Earth goes around the sun?" Sherlock Holmes is like, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my job, so I don't need to know it."
Yeah. To a certain extent, he's right.
I mean, if you're a detective,
But
no, if you need
and
to
I mean, yeah, to a certain
determine the
extent, he's
time
right.
of
It's just
day, don't
always
you need to
amazing to
know where
me.
the sun is?
It's up mostly.
Well,
I
'cause
mean,
you
at least he doesn't
determine-
try and insist he knows. So, like, one of my students knew a hairdresser that was a flat earther, and it's like, okay, whether or not a hairdresser knows about the curvature of the earth is sort of like minimally important. They're not really dealing with anything where the curvature of the earth takes itself and comes into play. However, my cousin, who's a geologist, has a peer, and I use peer term loosely, who is also a geologist, who is a young Earth creationist.
What?
Right. What?
I mean, how did he pass his classes?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Was he paying attention?
Like, being a creationist in sort of the general sense doesn't necessarily conflict with science, because I know plenty of scientists who are like, the world is just so amazingly complex, it's hard for me to believe that it's all just randomness, and some mathematicians would go, okay, well, sorry. So it's like there's like a higher power that set it up, as it were. But also the ones who believe that God created the earth and are geologists are also usually aware of that. Yes, but it didn't happen in 7 literal days. But yeah, young earth creationist. Got a degree in geology somehow.
Yeah, that happens.
In answer to your question, Miss, and to make things just even more complicated, the Clangers, it turns out, do not live on the moon. They live on a moon-like planet. So maybe the moon is a planet. Also, I should probably ask at this point, does anyone here know what the Clangers are?
Nope.
No.
Didn't think so. It feels like a very British thing. It was a kids' TV show with little stop-motion mice? Pink mice that live on a moon-like planet?
What the hell is a soup dragon?
Soup Dragon is also there. It's a dragon
Yes,
that
you're
lives
just
with them.
saying words now.
Yeah,
And taking adjectives and putting them in front of words.
Honestly, that was just British TV in the 70s. But yeah, it's a little stop motion thing. They're kind of cute. They speak via slide whistle, or they don't speak. They sound like a slide whistle.
Mm.
And at one point, almost got into trouble for swearing.
Imagine swearing on TV.
But like, they don't speak words. Remember, they sound like a slide whistle.
In trouble, do you mean in universe or out of universe?
Out of universe. There was the TV censors were like,
Oh wait!
Can
Oh,
we-
I didn't realize. I thought it was like a plot point, like a.
No. Something went wrong, and the inflection of the person with the slide whistle was basically to try and say, "Oh, for God's sake," or whatever. But the censors were like, "Yeah, that's what the censors thought it was." And it's like, it's a slide whistle. Who's?
Also, are we gonna spin the wheel today?
Oh yeah, we should spin the wheel. They are back. Sorry, just going back to the Clangers briefly. Apparently, they only made 2 series originally. They've made 3 more. The new ones are voiced in England by Michael Palin, and in America, because apparently they've made them for America as well, by William Shatner. So there you go. If you want to watch some American Clangers, William Shatner's got your back. Egg. Sorry, just zoomed out. Saw egg. Oh wow, that staff has has changed since last I looked at it.
Yeah.
It's got a foot now.
We have egg and leg. Oh, and Scuttly wardrobe.
I was trying to think of what like the front view of this guy would look like if he was on all 4, so that's just an egg.
That's cute. That's how you first see them. They're like in between 2 buildings or something. You just look in the corner and they're there.
It's like a weird Kirby.
Oh, I'm gonna have to add some clangers to my GIF rotation, probably. There are 4 clanger GIFs, that's it. Maybe I won't add them. They're cute. Anyway, right, okay. Spin the wheel, let's get wheels up. I don't have it up.
Spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel. Open. Made with Unity.
Okay, when I heard clangers, I didn't think space mice.
Space mice.
Yeah, I was thinking more like robots or something.
Yeah.
Wait, it's on catnet. That can't happen. Oh.
I don't know what's the end of that GIF. advertising a show or something? Okay, cool. Studio mode, doodle-doo.
I mean, I
Transition
don't
to
know
the
it, but apparently
wheel.
they are on Belgian Kids TV, so
Nice. We have wheels, and the wheels now have color. In order to avoid, in order to disambiguate somewhat, I've added some color based on your zone. So there's no particular reason you have a color. It's just what fit your zone. Yeah. I thought I had more to say about that, but I really didn't. It's just color.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel! Ah! Spin the wheel. Bloom. Enemies.
Ooh.
Enemies. Nice. Villains, monsters, creatures, creepy crawlies. Cool. And the roster, the assignment, not the assignment. That makes it sound like we're at school.
The homework.
The configuration of people to places goes thusly wise. Kiro has the viaduct. Oobs, you have Chibi's cave. Everybody has the floating city.
Ooh.
I have the harbour. Chibi gets wizard nonsense.
Maybe
Wizard
with
enemies. Yeah. Dark has the abyss. Christy gets the golden city, or the gilded city, or the divine city, the city of 1,000 names. Ragdoll gets Kiro's forest. Plamps has limbo, and Lewis has the world. So I guess that makes sense for Lewis being busy. So feel free to also make things for the world.
an enemy in the cave.
Enemy in the cave.
Yeah.
What if worm?
What if worm?
What if I would be intrigued for Worm, given that we just had a conversation that you can't do round things.
Oh,
I wanna see- I
worm
wanna
isn't
see
round,
sharp
it's
worm.
long.
I want to see sharp Worm. That's all I'm saying.
Sharp worm. Okay. I will
I'm
take that
antecedent.
challenge.
Sharp Worm. Let's go.
Enemy
What if
wizard.
it's just a tiny worm? But it's just like super aggro.
They come in swarms.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Or they don't. Or they don't, and I apologize for suggesting it.
Maybe it's an Oogie Boogie situation. Fine into a bigger room.
Ooh.
It's a worm-made worm.
A what?
A worm-made worm.
Worm made worm.
Well, worm with a Y.
Wyzrm.
A worm made out of worms.
A worm made of worms.
A worm
That would
made
be-
of worms?
CC is having a real difficult time with this conversation.
I love the face.
Yeah, so that is the prompt for this. I like how we've had 3 different prompts in a row. I'm happy. Well, I was worried we were going to get characters.
I mean, is it enemy like a mob or a specific enemy? Like a boss type
Any
thing?
of the above. You can make a boss. You can make. There is no space on the thing for boss or villain or anything like that. So anything antagonistic.
Can you make just a snarky person?
What if
Yeah,
worm
good.
I
is
mean,
black?
with the prompt of quests, we've done things as silly as side quests where you deliver mail to, hey, I think I've got the overarching quest theme of the entire game.
Yeah.
So
We can have variety. Try and design a villain, or at least somebody who thinks they're the villain. Or just design something that you have to fight several 100,000 of. I have the harbour, so I can design the rats that level up indefinitely.
Those are canon, yes. Awful, awful rats. Am I going to have to make the fucking most snooty wizard you've ever seen?
Do
Just
it.
fucking bitch.
Wizard
all-
fight!
Yeah, like,
I've
in
settled
general, they're a
on-
nuisance, but I'm sure there are some that are actual like problems.
I've settled on wormwood knife, so
What have you got there? I know.
I mean,
No.
there's also plenty of games where you have to fight a thing and they become an ally, or they are an ally, but also you have to fight them for various reasons. I mean, in God, most RPGs, you have to beat up some of your allies at least once or twice.
Pokemon.
Sometimes once or twice, even after they've joined your party. They join your party, leave, and then you have to punch their face in. With the power of friendship.
was it you did Pokemon?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of Pokemon games where you're walking around and your rivals are your friends, and so you have to keep.
Oh, I
sort of
thought you meant the
battling
Pokemon specifically. You have to
I
beat
mean,
your Pokemon.
yeah, in order to catch them. I guess, unless you have a Master Ball or just get lucky. That's a dynamic I never thought of. You have to beat the thing up in order to make it your friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Pokemon.
I will say they are not the only ones who do that, because we will be doing that when I bring out the SMTs.
Oh, good.
And it's even more so in this one. So in most SMT games, you have to recruit a demon, which usually involves beating them up a little bit. You have to usually be higher level than them, because demons won't usually work with anything that's a lower level than them. So you have to be higher level, beat them up a bit, and then start talking with them, and then convince them to join you. But in the one that I'm going to start playing, you beat them up a bit, and chunk a tube at them, and make them stay in the tube.
Get in the tube, demon. So now I'm hearing a Xerofail say that. That's weird.
Get in the tube. Let's see, forest. There's all sorts of weird things we could run into in the forest.
Oh yeah,
Probably
you've got free reign. You have not only a forest, which is like your nice standard, all sorts of creatures could be in there, but also you have one with like strangely technological ruins in it, so you can do tech creatures. Loads of stuff.
Well, Kiro, if it's not one you've played, I hope you enjoy what happens.
Ooh, sounds fun. Noir Pokemon Tube.
Yes, demons and tubes. And I mean, you can only recruit them if you've got, like, space. And different games handle how you have space differently. Some will have, like, you can only have, like, this limit, no more. Others will have, you can gain more slots as you go through. Most of them, you can then take demons that you've got and fuse them together to make different demons. So that's fun.
Oh, I should specify, since Miss is here. Miss, if you want to join in and do all stuff, you're more than welcome to. I don't want anyone to feel like they're left out because they don't have an area. Anybody wants to make anything, you have fun. Or don't. That's another perfectly valid option.
Well, Dark's excited about making things for the Flying City. Or seeing what people make for the Flying City.
Yeah. Maybe we'll doodle, yeah. Like I said, I feel bad bringing it up because that sounds like pressure, but it's not pressure. I don't want anyone to feel left out. I will update the gallery with everything things people have made. I'll do that tomorrow evening probably. So get all the bits and bobs together.
And I mean, I guess Oobs has already sort of made some enemies related to the Flying City with it.
Yeah.
Sky Pirates!
I mean, they can be the enemies or the quest givers. That's all. It's all up to.
Got a change
I don't
in
know,
tone.
someone.
We have a change in tone here between egg and this pose with high heels. Suddenly not
First,
egg.
what can I say?
Get you an artist who can do both.
I'm trying to figure this pose out. It's not really working for me.
It's working.
Mm,
Must disagree there.
no.
I love the front view of egg.
Yeah.
The front view of egg is just egg with legs.
Yeah, but it's
I'm-
very good.
I'm tempted to make that just the thumbnail for the VOD. Just that huge.
Just you're more than welcome to, I guess.
I usually try and pick like a drawing that one from each person, but I'm tempted to just egg.
Just egg.
Ooh, idea.
Ah,
I was talking about boars, and boars are terrifying. I'm going to say, well, let's have a terrifying boar. Big pig.
don't put me in the game.
Not that kind of boar.
I like how that was your objection, not you're not a boar. No, no, everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Or a moose. Oh, giant moose.
Oos.
Or just a hunter. That actually would be also a really cool enemy in the woods.
I'm still drawing frills.
I'm thinking some
You're
of the
welcome,
enemies
miss.
in the woods are probably like normal, quote unquote, animal like, and some of them are robots that are overrun, and then some of them are animals that are partially robotic or just have like robot bits on them for reasons.
I was trying to work out. Oh yeah, yeah. Last time I made a robot that was just like falling apart, and so they were just sort of sellotaping bits of tree trunk to them to stop them collapsing. So I'm sure it works the other way around as well. I'm sure some animals have nicked some robot bits. Yeah, I was trying to work out what was going on in this drawing here. It looked like somebody's head, but instead of the head, there were just stars. But it's a cave.
Yeah.
Which is much more sensible interpretation than space face.
No, I get it. I get it. Just trying something, but I'm not good at scenery.
I like this spinning top hat.
It's a Viking helmet and a shield on top of each other. It's a ghost that's trying to be a villain.
Oh, it's trying.
It doesn't really know how to.
Oh, curvy chair. Slanted hat.
In fashion, just you watch.
I like the difference in fashion between Frill Lizard and them.
Tie-high boots, tie-high boots.
What one is fashion and one is killer fashion. Literally, they will try and kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One is a fashionista and is very interested in getting you involved in all of the fashion, and the other one is a fashionista and thinks you are beneath them and will crush you.
Yeah. I mean, that's the vibe I'm trying to get. Someone who will step on you. That's my that's my goal for this. We're kind of working out during the week, but
Is this Switch to Matrescu?
no, but that is a good vibe. So might end up just getting there.
You know, putting in an I dot just makes things look very silly.
know what you're talking about.
It also depends
I
where
say
you put it.
this
Positioning is.
because Indeed.
I'm drawing a very serious thing.
Does it have arms?
Yes,
I thought at
Are
first.
those noodle arms on the noodle worm?
yes.
Look at this villain.
It also has a
Oh no, they're magical. Oh, right, is that a hat, or did they just take like a sort of a thumbtack and just sort of
no.
glue it to their head?
But he's super angry. He wants to be a wizard, but the wizards keep denying him.
Oh. I don't like that I have a variety of options of things I want to do for enemies, because that means I'm gonna have a busy week.
Do all of them.
Wyzrm!
Wyzrm. Oh no, they're angry now.
Yes.
What are you looking at? The thumbnail is just going to be close-ups of these tiny friends.
What more do you need? Oh, is that the infinitely scaling rat?
This is the infinitely
level
scaling rat at level 1.
Okay.
I will endeavour to
Now-
draw the infinitely scaling rat at different levels.
Now the question is, does it look the same at each level? And then
No.
you just go, oh, it's the level 1 rat, and then it eats you?
I was considering that. This little thing just eventually gets like the ability to summon meteors, which is fun. But I was also considering the possibility of it scaling and getting more like monstrous and, you know, intimidating, but everyone still treats it like it's a normal rat. So
That's also fun.
yeah. So I'm gonna do my spaghetti maneuver and just, you know, try the latter and have fun with that. Level 1.
How do you
Or their
put
name is,
armor on a pig?
it's either
Especially
level 1
one
or their
that's
name
not
is
really
Levi.
White pig. Piggy.
Dunno. Evil wizard.
Mm.
Or villainous, at least. And animalistic. But, mimic wall. I missed that. Mimic
this
wall.
This is what happens when the wall is aggro. And it's just like a... Like, my idea is that this happens if you get deeper into the cave. And closer to the portal to the void,
Ooh.
basically. So you get like weirder and weirder stuff. Is my
Nice.
idea.
Trying to keep you out by scaring the pants off of you.
Yeah.
Shut some of these down. More stuff in the corner.
But now I'm out of inspiration though, so
Yeah. I don't really know what to do.
But essentially, because you went straight with like evil wizard. My first thought was like an enemy that just like is a magical enemy that constantly pesters the wizards.
That's also an option.
But now I'm
God,
imagining like
you go to the wizard's house and it's like, yeah, I've got a plumbing problem. Can you help? And it's just like a giant slime monster coming out of their sink.
But then that makes me think of like who are the hench folk of this wizard? Who are the magical familiars that this this wizard tells to go off and do things? I imagine they're bumbling.
Yeah, definitely. Like something very rare. Just
What did I put on this pig? I almost just want to have like a spear taped to its back, like the worst Roomba.
the worst Roomba pig.
Roomball. That is all I have to add to proceedings. I love a complete silence.
yeah, I'm getting a little tired.
No. That's my favorite. I was about to say
Some people
my
are falling
favorite.
asleep, and some people are thinking hard.
And some people are judging you specifically.
Yeah. So long as the latter's happening, I'm fine. I need my daily dose of hubris.
My first thought was putting like a shield on its back, but while that is metal on a pig, it's not really sort of mystery tech.
Give it like a shield generator, like they have in video games with like blue regenerative shields.
Oh
Does that make
God.
sense?
That would be terrifying. Just got a thing stuck on it that generates shields. It doesn't know what's going on. It's a pig. Go. Pig with a thing stuck on its back that generates a weird force shield. Heaven help you if you run into it. Or more accurately, heaven help you if it runs into you.
This is a weird connection, but this reminds me of those rolling robots in Star Wars Episode 1. They just sort of roll around in a ball, then they get up, and then a shield goes around them. And it might just be the curvature of the fangs and the shield, but I like the idea that this friend rolls around and then stops, and then boom, shield.
Connor.
What to say anymore?
Like,
I would talk about my concept, but my concept is just at the moment just, sexy wizard.
sexy wizard and bat friends.
And Bartok from Anastasia.
Yeah, I was about to say we've got some Anastasia vibes going on here, and I sort of didn't want to say that because that it implies that Rasputin is the sexy wizard.
No, you shouldn't play it. He has a song. It's only right.
Well, now I'm gonna have to listen to Rasputin, like Rara Rasputin, the entire time that I try this.
I haven't seen Anastasia, but I'm not a fan of the phrase Rasputin is a sexy wizard. That's just my...
Listen, Chris.
I'm pretty sure he wears a wig at one point.
I mean, you shouldn't, especially considering how they've drawn Rasputin in that movie and how he acts. He's undead. His head comes off a couple of times and bounces around.
Charming. I mean, that kind of fits
that
the myth.
That movie is so weird. Because for most of it, the main characters are under the impression it's like a historical drama, and then suddenly zombie wizard appears at the end, and they have to deal with that.
That part made me so scared.
Trying to figure out how I can spell Rasputin in a fantasy way so I can name him Rasputin. That normal.
That's as far as I got.
Yeah, that's also like definitely the H is there, and then what?
No idea.
I don't know.
First name Rasp.
Rasp.
Rasp you teen.
I mean, we could go the Psychonauts route and just say it's Raz. Because the main character in Psychonauts, his name is Rasputin. It's just everyone calls him Raz.
I like the idea that during wizard school this person was nicknamed Teeny, and they got a chip on the shoulder about that.
Anyway, Rasp U-Team. I'm sticking with that.
Hey,
Super
miss,
lucky.
we have a thing to get rid of.
Oh, I can do that.
Or Chris, if miss is not available.
Do. Boom. Be gone, bot. I don't know why I just don't make all of you mods. I trust all of you.
Yeah. You know.
But
Yeah.
I also take
And then we
entertainment.
just
I take entertainment from the power imbalance. Of some of you having swords and some of you not.
Wow. Okay. I see how it is.
Like,
to be perfectly honest, probably the main thing we'd all do is the same thing that Dark and Mist does, and that's just spam the plant command.
Yeah. I need to work out a way of allowing people to do that.
It's not that big a deal.
I also want to
Like
come
we
up
said,
with more things.
it's a 30-second delay, but it's only a 30-second delay for sending the same message twice. I think you can get away with it if you sent plant and then we started talking a little bit and then did another plant.
Yeah, you can do plant and then you can do plant locked. That's fine.
Oh no, is that the new meta?
That's my method.
Yeah, it's mainly to stop bots from sending the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, I understand. But I feel like, you know, if I can whitelist plant or something like that, that would be ideal.
Love this wrap that you're drawing, Chris. Just
Thank you.
This
big
has very great end of Great Mouse Detective.
I was thinking that Ratigan sort of
going insane.
I do love that, so
I mean, I would consider drawing like a rat sort of more sophisticated sort of rat opponent, but I feel like that would be treading on the shoes of the amphibian mafia, so
yeah.
Also, I sort of like the implication that if this rat is leveling up with you, where it's like it's also fighting adventure. Is this like the same rat? It's like, oh, we've got a rat infestation. No, not multiple rats. A single rat.
there's a lot of rats and they all look like this. But there's like a cutscene that you're introduced to them, which is like somebody, you know, they're with a broom and they're just sort of swatting away the rats. It's, oh, you really need to help me with these rats. But it's the same cutscene whether they're tiny level 1 rat or level 100. There's just a person with a broom going, oh god, these things again.
I'd love to imagine that you can like do this quest every time you go to the harbor, and it's just like you see them gradually like getting bigger. Like at first you're like, are they different this time?
Am I
And
gonna
then
have to do?
it gets to, like that.
Am I gonna have to do the evolution of the rat mob?
You don't have to.
But it would be funny.
Yeah. This level 1 rat is so cute.
Yeah. It looks squashed.
It looks like a little squeaky toy. Like I could just grab it and, you know, squeeze it and it would just like squeak squeak.
Question: does the rat only level up if you kill it?
No, it's just the same level as you. So presumably, I guess the law is that it's killing when you are.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's got its own adventures. There's a this is like Pokemon, where there are 2 games that are released at the same time, and one of them is the Rat's Adventure.
Okay, I thought.
What one version of the game Life and Death imbued a humanoid with their power, and in another one they just kind of went,
Rat.
Rats. We got plenty of those flying around. If this one doesn't work, we can grab another rat just as easily.
For a second, I thought the thing was that as long as you don't kill the first level of the rat, the cute one, it doesn't level further.
No, it does. It's the only enemy in the game I have decided
No,
that
you're right. You're right.
And we
that
agreed.
levels with you. So like everything is a set level, and you go through the game progressing that way, except for the rats. They're always on the same level as you are.
That's level. It's not level 100. I have to work
Oh,
out
there
something
is
for
a
level
level
100.
100 then.
Yeah,
That's
this is halfway.
God rat.
Assuming we use a 100 cap system, because that's not always the case.
True. Yeah.
There are some games that have lower caps, and there are some games that have higher caps.
We call them uppercase and
Like Disgaea. Disgaea's cap, I believe, is 9,999.
Yes, I'm gonna ignore that joke. Just
you're welcome.
I'm gonna ignore it for my own sanity.
That's usually the best option. Honestly, it's a wonder anybody comes to these streams. I'm a mental health hazard.
I haven't commented on everyone's drawings a lot because it's very annoying to zoom out on iPad.
Ah, no.
You're
But
fine.
I love all of these.
I like your little ghost
Thank you.
who's apparently gone, well, I need something to wear. It will be a bed sheet and a helmet, and here's a shield. I'll just stick it on my head.
Yeah.
I like the
It's
idea
like
that
all of the bad, broken armor that's left. It's grabbed by itself.
I like the idea that there's like just something like really wholesome written on the top of the helmet. It's like, oh, I've got to cover it up to look intimidating. Just put the shield there. There's just like a love heart on it or something. No, gotta look.
I haven't figured out how it's going to be not bad, but trying to be bad yet, but that's definitely the
Peer pressure.
case.
I mean, there are some games where it's like, oh, you're fighting a thing, and you're just kind of like poke them, and then they fall over and pretend to be dead.
Yeah, it puts on the show, but then the moment you start fighting, it's like, oh, ow, oh no, you have defeated me. Have my experience. Goodbye.
Oh. It's a wholesome little boss.
Well, there we go. We have the lower end and middle end. That's not an end, is it? Middle. Of the rat scale.
I like the implication that since you're saying this is the middle, there's somewhere else more insane for this to go for this rat.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it is now many times its original size, bodybuilding rat with a bunch of weapons stuck in it.
It's very buff, but it hasn't yet worked out how to kill God.
Mm.
You know
I
what I
wonder it's probably just gonna be a mech.
mean?
It's a rat and a mech.
And again, the cutscene is unchanged. Somebody with a broom. Going,
Just
I really must
chasing
get...
it away.
I also like that he figured out the way to wear clothes, or at least a loincloth.
Yeah, I have Nomura disease, which is if in doubt, add straps.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what they're for. And I just added a
Containing
cloth.
his rage.
because he's still just a rat in a cage. He's not in a cage, he's in somebody's storeroom. Could leave at any time, but he just really wants grain. You know?
Yeah, fair.
He just has an addiction. Poor guy.
He needs an intervention.
Send him to brain rehab.
I mean, you leave grain long enough in the right conditions and it can get alcoholic.
Yeah. Is he drunk on fermented grain?
Maybe.
Yeah, like animals get drunk on fermented apples and stuff.
Yeah.
Drunk squirrels are cute.
I think for the level 100, the hands are still going to be the same size. That's the... Everything else gets bigger. Hands stay the same. Ooh, spiky worm. Oh, I'm good friend. In their overalls. Or suspended trousers. Yeah, I don't know if we're slowing to an end here. Are we?
I think so.
Yeah.
Most of us are at a point where it's like, I need to mess around with this elsewhere.
Yeah.
Elsewhere.
Because, like, with some of my, it's like, I'm also thinking, like, I think someone said earlier moose, and it's like, yes, moose.
now
But also,
Dora
how
Moose.
do moose?
How do moose?
You began. I don't think you began the stream. Just before the stream, you were extolling your issues with drawing horns and such. So now moose.
A moose antlers are a little simpler, I think, because they're just giant, like, flat plates.
Yeah, they're just kind of wedges attached to the head.
Oh yeah. They can pick up satellite signal.
But then it's also a matter of how to make moose monster. I mean, beyond just it being a moose.
Yeah,
More
just a moose.
antlers.
It's just a moose.
The moose is now the one driving the car.
I find it funny that it's like, oh, we've got this forest area and we've got these things that are, it's like, oh, it's part animal, part machine, and then one of the enemies is just a moose. We don't need to do anything to it. It's just a moose.
It's a moose,
Those
but
are scary
it's a
enough as it
predator
is.
now.
I mean, I joke about the satellite thing. You could make one of the antlers a satellite.
A moose robot.
Yeah. If they're co-opting bits of old machinery, and antlers do come off. If one of these got involved in a fight and snapped off an antler or whatever, it's like, oh, I found a replacement. It's made of metal. So yes, in summary, Footstaff, Ghost who's really trying their best. Capricorn, Running Lizard with string, who needs string for the hat because the hat will fall off. Egg, Rasp, et al. Frill Lizard, the evolution of rats, very very old wizard, cat with sword, Sky Pirates in their dirigibles. They're very cool. Have they got like Christmas lights dangling off there?
I haven't realized. I just needed dangly bits.
Yeah, dangly bits. It's this visual motif. Mimic wall, which does sound terrifying. As somebody who played a lot of Elden Ring, rolling into walls to see whether or not they're fake walls. Suddenly now there's a mimic wall. I get eaten. Got the male goat. Spiky worm. Moose. Shield boar. Walking walk-in wardrobe. The post office and the Koch horns. Cock? I never know how to pronounce that.
You have to be very careful pronouncing it, though.
Yeah. Cock horn is not something we really want to end the stream on. Anyway, that's the end of the stream.
Yep, we did end it on Cockhorn.
We ended it on Cockhorn. I voted that it's Koch, not Cock, but what do I know? How do you end streams? Anyone know?
You say goodbye and you leave.
Goodbye and you leave.
That's
a turnip. There's also there's another one to harvest. I cannot leave until one has been harvested.
Well,
waiting.
that's awkward.
There it is. Oh god. It's a fly. It's a fly onion.
Onion.
Onion. Flunion. I'm just desperately trying to get away from Cockhorn.
And now you've brought it back up again.
No, I brought up the Cockhorn. Goodbye, everybody.